Good afternoon. Thank you so much for coming back. I was feeling a bit chilly, so I put my jumper on. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to get a house here in the UK. Is it possible for a nurse to get a house in the UK? If you've got a family of two and you're a nurse, you're here. Yes, so I was just saying that yes, as a nurse, you can get a house in the UK, and the shortest duration that you can have a house in the UK is 2 years. You need to work here in the UK for at least 2 years, and you will be have enough money to save and buy a house here in the UK. But again, it all depends on your savings. It all depends on you and how much monthly budget you are keeping for the house purchase. So you need to organize yourself, you need to write it down. So you should have a separate diary and you can write your saving. For example, you write it down that you are getting 18 months of salary per month, and you paid your rent, you paid your house bills, and the leftover money, what is left there, how many pounds you need for yourself, and how many pounds can you keep aside for the house. So you need to plan yourself. That's the most important thing here. For example, when we come here in the UK, we plan, right? We do OET test, we do CBT, we do our OSCE exam. So it's all planned, isn't it? It's a planned journey. Same like that, you need to plan here in order to buy a house, in order to get a car, or in order to get ILR. So you need to plan yourself. That's the most important tip that I can give you. Write it down, write the things down. Also, now on your monthly expenses, if you are able to save at least 1,000, it will be more than enough. Okay, how you can save? If your salary is 1,800, it's gonna be very hard for you to save. What you can do is you work 3 or 4 days in a week, isn't it? So you can do one extra shift, one bank shift per week, to save some extra pounds, some extra quids. For example, if you do 4 bank shifts in a month or 5 bank shifts in a month, you'll be able to save maybe 6 to 700 pounds. So that's more than enough, and 2 to 300 you can get from your salary, just your savings. That's the worst scenario I'm giving you. If you have 2 or 3 family members that you need to feed them and you need to support them, that's the scenario I'm giving you for. But if you are single person here, or you have a one family member who you need to look after, then I think you earn enough to get a house, isn't it? So for when you have to buy a house in the UK, you just need to give 10% deposit, and you can get the house for roughly the 3 to 4 bedroom house. It depends on the location as well. It depends on the area you are living in. It depends on the city of England you are living in. But here in Portsmouth, you can get a house, 3 or 4 bedroom house, maybe in 300,000 pounds, or a very good one in 400,000 pounds, but it will go out of your budget. So just normal salary without doing any banks. Sometimes I do banks, but most of the times I don't do any banks. So roughly for a nurse who doesn't do any bank, she will be able to get a house maybe in 300,000 pounds. Yeah, so it will be all right for you to get a house if you save at least £1,000 per month. But yes, it depends on your savings. It depends on your on the way you live. Some people, they spend loads of money on their clothes or on their other expenses. For example, they like to dine out a lot, they like to go around, they want to visit the UK all over. So you need to set your priorities. What do you want to do first? Do you want to roam around first? Do you want to visit the UK first, or you want to get a house? So that's why I said planning is most important. So you need to know where you are standing, what you need to do first. We are nurses, so we know ourselves. Even a part of our job is to prioritize. Even in our life, life we need to prioritize. You should have an aim in your mind that do I need to get a house first, or do I want to just enjoy, relax myself first? So yeah, so choice is yours. If you want to get a house first, then you need to what we did was, we were saving a little bit money to get the house, and to get the car, and to do all the things that we wanted to do before visiting around, or before moving around in the UK. Yes, we will still have enough time to go and do those kind of stuff as well, but or to go on holiday for a long vacation. Yes, so you need to set your priorities. You need to set your priorities. You need to know what you are going to do in your life, how you're going to manage it. When you come to the UK, whether you are 20 years or 30 years or 25 years, you will be mature enough to make your own decision. You will be mature enough to do the things on your own. You'll be mature enough to make your own decisions, whether you're a girl or a boy, male nurse or female nurse. You will be able to buy a house. So as I said, there is 10% discount that you need to pay. If you are saving 1,000 per month or a bit less than that, you will be still able to give the deposit of 10%. So buying a house is not easy. I can understand, because buying a house, the process is here that you cannot buy it right away unless you are a businessman or someone. Obviously then you can pay, but for us, the middle class people, we earn and save the money to buy the house. So maybe that's why I can explain it in a better way. So you will be saving 1,000 per month. So in 1 month, in 1 year, you will be having 12,000, and in 2 years you will be having 24,000. So if you are getting a house for 200,000 pounds, then you will be your 10% will be 20,000, isn't it? But if you are getting a house for 300,000, then you will be paying the deposit of 30,000. So 10% is the 10% is the deposit that you need to pay in advance in order to get a house here in the UK. And make sure that you keep, if you are thinking to get a house, and you need to there are other things that they need to know about the affordability, and also you need to get an agent. A lot of letting agents, a lot of agents work here to give you the mortgages, so you need to make sure that you go with the right one. And they also check your affordability, that they also check your credit scoring. It roughly takes about 3 to 6 months, and in those 3 to 6 months, for example, you have 25,000 pounds in your account, and you feel like you are ready to get a house, and the process takes 3 to 6 months. So in those 3 to 6 months, you can still earn more, and you can still save the money. So you don't need to borrow it from someone. You don't need to ask your family to send you the money. So you will still have time. Roughly speaking, you should have at least 25,000 to 30,000 in order to get a house, 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom to 4-bedroom here in Portsmouth. But if you want to get a bigger house or a bungalow, I would say, if you want to increase your family members, if you want to be a big family later in the future, for example, you want to have 3 kids or 4 kids, 3 kids or 4 kids, then you will be maybe aiming for a big house. So, but there is no problem. You can sell your house at any time. You can remortgage your house at any time. And because what happens is, how you buy a house, you don't need to pay everything in cash. You don't need to pay everything at once. You pay the deposit 10%, and then monthly, on installment basis, monthly you pay as you pay like your rent. For example, if I'm renting from someone, I'll be paying maybe 800 every month. So same in the mortgage, the house will be yours, but you will be paying monthly fees. For example, if you get a house for 300,000, you will be paying maybe roughly 1,200 pounds or 1,300 pounds or maybe 1400 pounds, depends. So on top of that, remember, on top of the mortgage, you need to pay your bills, okay? Electricity, water, council tax, and gas bill. And on top of that, the other deductions from the salary, national insurance and pension, they go as well. So keep in mind that if I get a house for 300 pounds, I will be paying, for example, 1300 pounds. Then I will be paying my bills roughly maybe 3 to 400 roughly. So you need to plan and see whether you can manage or not. But if you feel like you can't manage to pay that much money, maybe you can go for a 2-bedroom house, or if you are single, maybe 1-bedroom house. And then later on, when you feel like I want to bring my family over, and then you want to have a big house, you can sell it and get a new one. But I would say go for a big house in the first go, and because it's not easy to sell and buy the house again, because the mortgage, you get the house, you pay for 10%, and the rest of the money you are going to pay in 30 to 35 years. Some people go for the shorter time, like 20 years or 25 years. Some people go for the 30 years or 35 years. So in those 35 years, you will be still paying for your house. Okay, you don't need to pay everything in advance if you don't have, but if you have, well and good. If you want to give more deposit, if you want to give 20% deposit or 30% deposit, it's totally up to you, but the minimum required is 10% deposit, and then you'll be able to get a house. Okay, so the saving is important. If you don't save and you spend your money without thinking, then it's gonna be hard for you to buy a house. Some people, what they do is, when they come to the UK, right away they get the car, and they do the all the luxury stuff, because maybe they feel like, yeah, we are in the UK now. Yes, that's good. That's good. They need to enjoy themselves as well. But if you have long-term plans, I would say follow the plans first, and then do the other stuff. And yeah, it can be hard, it can be difficult, especially if you are single member of the family and you have 3 kids to look after, or you have 2 kids to look after. Then it can be very hard for you to get a house or a mortgage. So when you that's the deposit, 25 to 30,000 deposit you need to have. But on top of that, you will be paying the fees for the agent. They do the house evaluation. That's the fee. Then you need to pay. That's roughly, I think, around 500 or something. I'll make another video on that, that how much money do you actually need to get a house, apart from the deposit, because it's gonna be very, very long video. I'm not going to include that in today's video. It was all about, can a nurse buy a house in the shortest period of time? It's 2 years. Yes, you can buy a house, and then you won't be paying the rent. With the rent, what is the problem? It's easy just to pay the rent and stay in the house, but at the end of the day, you are still a tenant and you will still be leaving the house, isn't it? But if you get a mortgage, it's your investment. It's kind of investment. Yeah. So if you feel like later, after 20 years or 30 years, that, oh, I want to get a new house, I don't like it anymore, or the area, I don't like it anymore, I want to get a bigger house, I want 3 bedrooms, or I want a 5-bedroom house, then you can change it, you can sell it, or you can go to your mortgage advisor and ask them that, oh, I want to sell this house and I want to get a new one because of this, and they won't be having any problem anyways. So you just need to tell them. And I would say it's an investment. If you are new, you are here in the UK, I would say go for the mortgage first. If you can manage to save some money, if you can manage to save the deposit, is the best investment ever. Okay, and you as a nurse, you have the a savings. You can have the savings, you can have the money to buy a house, and at the end of the day, when you get old, when you get retired, you will be living in your own house instead of paying the rents. And the rents are very, very expensive here as well. So if you're living in a 2-bedroom house or a 3-bedroom, you will be paying maybe 1,300 or 1,400 pounds. So why not go for a mortgage? Why not? Yeah. For the mortgage as well, you will be paying, but at the end of the day, or at the end of 30 years, the house will be yours, isn't it? So good luck, guys. Keep saving, and if you have any further queries about getting a house in the UK, let me know in the comment section. I'm going to make a video on the long process, and how to get an agent, and which agent do you need to go for, and how they calculate your annual income, and they check your affordability. So I'll make a video on that very soon. Stay tuned, keep watching. Thank you so much for today. Take care. Bye bye. God bless you all.